Good morning. Welcome to Paris and the launch of Breakthrough Alliance Europe. The next 2 days, we have a meeting between HealthLab and Hôtel Dieu, organized, focusing on scaling up digital health across Europe and bridging to US. Be prepared for a very lively exchange between startups, investors, and accelerators. What do you need to do to scale across Europe? How can you help each other? How do you need to collaborate? And many insights, hopefully some that you don't expect. So enjoy the 2 days in front of Notre Dame in one of the oldest hospitals in Europe, Hôtel Dieu in Paris, the place to innovate for healthcare. Have a good day.
The key thing is be in the system. And by doing it in a hotel, you're not part of the system. We're here in the hospital. They're treating patients. We can see doctors right over across the courtyard getting taught, probably grand rounds. So being part of the system, I think, is the most important thing. And showing that we're here, we want to partner with a hospital such as this, seeing the physicians, seeing the patients, knowing that we're part of the community.
It's amazing to see really the world come together here in Paris today. We have people coming in from all over Europe, Australia, North America, Asia, and we're excited to see some of the most advanced innovations that are taking place in digital healthcare, biomedical informatics, bioinformatics, and so it's an exciting day for Paris, an exciting day certainly for Hôtel Dieu and for HealthLab and Kels.
Tell us a little bit, coming from America, why you are here and maybe what you expect from these 2 days.
Yes, so very excited to be here. Obviously, Paris is a fantastic city, beautiful, as you know. But we're excited to be expanding HealthLab's Breakthrough Alliance into the European market and to create some alliances and partnerships between basically the European market and the US market. And bring these organizations together to accelerate healthcare innovation to support people globally.
When you're a startup and you have limited resources, you really need to not get stuck in like these difficult decisions sometimes. So I think being able to fail fast, take a decision quickly, and they're not always going to be perfect, but it's better than getting lost in a situation where you're trying to permanently rescue a program that actually is not going to work is another thing. And then the third thing is talents, right? I think we really underestimate how much they can make a big difference. I've seen companies rise and collapse because of 2 or 3 right people. And I think, too often I see companies, considering that this talent is interchangeable with this other talent, and this person seems amazing, but we can't offer this person what this person needs, or we can't set the right conditions to make it work. And it's true, when you're a startup, you have to grow and build a large team. But I've definitely seen that a few catalyzers can really make a difference. And you have to know how to leverage them, and you have to know how to then build on top of that and then build larger teams.
And we, as a public hospital, are able to provide them with the right use cases, the right data. We are able to start clinical trials.
Good morning. Day 2 of the meeting, ready for a great day of exchange again. Today we're going to move to the topic of patient care, and we're going to also conclude together about the key lessons and, more important, what we're going to do together as a community between the accelerator here, Hôtel Dieu, HealthLab, Medvia, between the investors who are present and the entrepreneurs to basically scale up, accelerate across Europe. Looking forward to it, and watch Tech Europe. We'll get a few more great interviews. Aujourd'hui, qu'est-ce que tu attends des différents échanges?
Ah oui, moi ce que j'attends, c'est des précisions sur les modèles éco. Et le message que je ferai passer, c'est réellement de dire, on n'est pas assez focus sur les modèles éco. On a un véritable problème, en France en particulier, qui est moins vrai à l'européen. N'en parlons pas aux États-Unis, mais on a un vrai problème de déploiement des modèles économiques, de trouver les modèles économiques, parce que le patient n'est pas habitué à payer pour sa santé. Et donc, en fait, alors, la révolution dans ce cadre-là, à mon avis, elle va prendre plusieurs années, donc ça va être compliqué d'aller chercher un modèle éco là. Mais je pense qu'il faut qu'on se réveille sur les modèles économiques tiers, sur l'utilisation secondaire des données, sur les services qu'on apporte aux patients à travers la mise à disposition de ce type d'outils. Je pense aux mutuelles, par exemple, enfin, aux assurances complémentaires, mais aux laboratoires pharmaceutiques aussi. Je pense que derrière, il y a une vision un petit peu étriquée, pardonnez-moi, de l'impact potentiel du digital sur les patients et sur les modèles économiques. Il y a le modèle économique en amont, mais il y a le modèle économique en aval, sur la maîtrise de ce qu'on fait sur le marché, sur la maîtrise de l'information qui remonte, et comment est-ce qu'on améliore les process et la mise à disposition des molécules.
I think today is a bit more, or a lot more, about patient care, patient app, B2C. First is how do you see these ones in terms of level of maturity? And then second, obviously as Debut Farm, I mean, where is your main focus in terms of what you're interested in?
So when we look at AI, and obviously Paris is a great place to talk about AI because it's one of the world's major hotspots for AI development. AI is disrupting the whole healthcare industry and pharma industry, but at a very different pace. So we see that the health providers are being now heavily disrupted by AI, but there are still some obstacles which are mainly due to regulations and reimbursement. We at Debut Farm, we are more focused on pharma development. If you look at early stage pharma development, drug discovery, AI has been a main driver for disruption, and the disruption has gone very faster because it's much less regulated. Whereas when you come closer to the clinical development phase, there AI is having an impact, but it's moving a little bit slower due to regulation hurdles.
If I put myself in the shoes of a startup, maybe at the stage of scaling up, how do I approach NHS? How do I get in touch with you? And behind that, of course, also my question is, what are maybe some areas where you see opportunities for starting?
I think, well, it's a very good question because the NHS can be, I think, quite confusing if you're approaching, as a startup, where do I start? I think I would try and form relationships. I'd actually probably start at an ICB level initially, try and find who the leaders in that digital space within that ICB, have a look at what their digital strategy is, because that's very informative. And if you look at things like HealthTech News, you can have a look in there, you can see who's moving forward at pace within the NHS system. You can also reach out to the national teams, but if you go to a local team leader, then they can kind of plug you into that. There's also the Health Innovation Networks, which which will bring products on, companies on to in place. They'll find you a place to sit within an ICB, so you can then develop your product there.
What an amazing set of 2 days. It was really exciting, insightful, lively discussions with a mix of investor startups and also accelerators that we had here. Look, the highlights of these 2 days is obviously this hospital, the oldest in Europe. We're striking to actually learn that the hospital, first time it was built, is actually older than the cathedral. It tells you, the roots here of healthcare and what it represents across Europe. First day, a lot on tech bio, AI imaging, and for me, there was one moment that was really striking, is when Bill Taranto was telling us, the chair of HealthTech in the US, was telling us it's really amazing. I mean, the quality of innovation here, is really at par with what is in the US. The main difference is it's a lot easier to scale in US, more challenging in Europe, but working with, pharma, Medtech, CROs, allow you to actually take scale faster. And it's what is, obviously making happen with the team in Berlin. And seeing the attendance from a number of big pharma during this meeting, it's really clear that there was a big interest there. Now moving to the second day, a lot focusing on patient care, B2C, and frankly, many people say, look, B2C startup in Europe, really behind, not scaling, not there. And actually today there was a number of really encouraging startups that were, shared and presented. The highlight, definitely it's time for these startups to work together. Really interesting to see the joint offering for women health that was put forward by 3 startups, and actually a 4th one during the meeting was just being candidate to actually join it. So that's one, and this was for really women health, endometriosis, fertility, family health, and then menopause, and really offering these combined or joint offer to big companies looking for accelerating actually the availability of these solutions. I think third, which was the rest of the day, actually a lot of talks from also companies from startups from the US, a company also coming from Australia who analyze how to make the most of the web, put your company in front of the search, so you could see learnings from different countries on how to accelerate. And I'll finish with the discussion that we had with Nicola Castaldi, which is really a highlight for me of these 2 days. Is this place is actually an open innovation place. At Hôtel Dieu doesn't know the innovation is going to come to them, so that's why they are totally open to whoever wants to come to them to actually help resolve questions they still have, or second, help deploying the solution into the hospital.
The medical need is growing, and we just had a presentation about women health. We need new tools, we need a new way to address needs expressed by the patients, and we all are facing HR issues. We all know that keeping caregivers at hospitals is challenging. It's true in France, but even in the US and even in the whole Europe. So we need to be able to build something new involving a lot of digital tools. We have a new system to design, and it's quite tricky. So being able to share, to work together, to find the right way to evaluate and to next deploy these tools, it's really interesting.
So now the call for action to everybody hearing these is do reach out to the people attending these. I think it's a really special group of people. Maybe you should say a scale-up club that people are really focusing on this idea of scaling across Europe and bridging. So do reach out in this mindset of open innovation. I think too, at Hôtel Dieu, HealthLab, pharma companies and investors like KLS. Looking forward to next year. We have discussion about what we're going to do between now and then, and what will be this milestone also happening end of March, beginning of April 2026. Thanks a lot, and see you soon again on Tech Europe.